Welcome and thank you for tuning in to AIM's informational webinar about the California WIC and Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Programs. As we record this webinar, we're also recording a Spanish audio translation courtesy of Arandira Science from Global EU, which you will find linked in the video description. This webinar is hosted by Agricultural Institute of Marin and funded in part by the California Department of Food and Agriculture through the California Nutrition Incentive Program, CNIP. Agricultural Institute of Marin is a nonprofit organization that operates 9 certified farmers markets in the San Francisco Bay Area and provides various programs and services to our communities and farmers. My name is Annie, and I am the Nutrition Access Program Specialist and a Farmers Market Manager at Agricultural Institute of Marin. This webinar is for fruit, vegetable, and honey farmers, as well as farmers market managers who want to learn more about the California WIC and Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Programs and how to become authorized to participate. Please note that this is not the mandatory WIC authorization training that farmers and market managers must attend as part of the authorization process. That is a separate training that WIC will schedule with you after you apply for the programs. So today we will start with an overview of the WIC and Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Programs. Then we will review requirements for farmers and farmers markets to participate, and we'll go step by step through the application process. Then we'll show you the basics for setting up your account once your application is approved. And finally, we will show you how to get your staff ready to process WIC and Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program transactions at farmers markets. So what is the Farmers Market Nutrition Program? The Farmers Market Nutrition Program, called FMNP for short, provides extra funds to low-income Californians to help them purchase fresh California-grown fruits, vegetables, and honey directly from farmers at certified farmers markets. There are actually 2 programs within the Farmers Market Nutrition Program. One which gives extra farmers market funds to people who are part of the WIC program, which stands for Women, Infants, and Children, on top of the regular monthly WIC benefits they receive. And the second program gives farmers market funds to low-income seniors. Both of these programs run annually from May 1st through November 30th. And before 2025, recipients were given booklets of paper checks to spend. Now recipients will be getting an electronic benefits card with a QR code on the front, and authorized farmers will have an online account and can use their smartphone to scan the QR code to accept digital payments. This electronic benefits system also allows farmers to easily accept WIC recipients' monthly regular WIC cash value benefits, which are their regular benefits that they receive on their WIC card every month year-round. As you might have already experienced, we use a lot of acronyms when we're talking about food access programs and the government agencies involved. Here on the screen is a chart that shows the agencies involved in the Farmers Market Nutrition Program and how the funds flow from customers and then to you. As you can see here, the Farmers Market Nutrition Program, or FMNP, consists of 2 programs. On the left side is the WIC program, which is run by the California Department of Public Health, or CDPH. And within the WIC program, there are 2 types of funds that we at farmers markets handle. The WIC FMNP funds, which are those extra farmers market funds that WIC recipients get, and then the WIC CVB, or cash value benefits, which are their regular monthly benefits that they receive year-round. WIC, FMNP, and CVB funds are distributed to recipients by local WIC agencies. The customers then take their WIC cards to shop at farmers markets with WIC authorized farmers. Here on the right-hand side is the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program, or SFMNP, which is run by the California Department of Food and Agriculture, or CDFA. On the senior side, the benefits are distributed to eligible seniors by their local area agencies on aging. And then just like with WIC, The seniors who receive their benefits cards will take those cards to farmers markets and use them to shop with WIC authorized farmers. And something to note is that for both programs, at some but not all locations, some agencies and organizations might give out extra funds like WIC match or senior bonus bucks to encourage recipients to shop at farmers markets. And lastly, throughout this presentation, you will hear me frequently saying WIC authorized or WIC authorization. This is because CDPH WIC manages the farmer and farmers market application process for both programs. When farmers and market managers get their WIC application approved, they are automatically authorized to participate in both the WIC program and the senior program, with the exception of honey-only farmers who will be enrolled only in senior FMNP. Later in this webinar, we will talk about how to get WIC authorized. If you participated in the Farmers Market Nutrition Program in previous years, you might remember being paid by customers with paper checks like the ones pictured on the left here. Starting in 2025, there will be no more paper checks for this program. Instead, recipients will get cards that look like a credit card but have a QR code on the front. Farmers in the program will log into their online account and scan the QR code using their phone or tablet camera to accept digital payments. The payments will then be deposited directly to the farmer's bank account. One thing I want to make sure is clear to everybody before we move on is that all of the information I'm sharing today is only in regards to the California WIC and Senior Farmers Market Nutrition programs. As of December 2025, when this webinar was recorded, there have been no changes to how we operate CalFresh, EBT, Market Match, and other nutrition access programs at our markets. Next, we're going to talk about the requirements that farmers and farmers markets need to meet in order to participate in the Farmers Market Nutrition Program. So if you are a farmer, you need to have a valid Certified Producer Certificate, or CPC, from your county agricultural commissioner. You need to attend at least one WIC authorized farmers market where you sell fruits, vegetables, and herbs or honey. Farmers who sell only honey are only eligible for the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program and not WIC, but you will use the exact same application. In addition to a valid CPC, you will also need a tax ID number, which can be your business's employer identification number, also known as EIN, or your personal social security number. And to operate the electronic payment system, once you are authorized, you will need a smartphone or a tablet that has a camera and either internet access or a cellular data plan. And finally, you will need a bank account so that any payments that you accept can be direct deposited to that bank account. If you meet all of these requirements, you should submit the WIC farmer application to the California Department of Public Health's WIC FMNP team. The application form can be found on their website, www.wicfarmers.ca.gov. So now if you are a farmers market manager, your market also needs to be certified to participate in the Farmers Market Nutrition Program. You will need a certified farmers market certificate from your county agricultural commissioner, and you need to have at least one WIC authorized farmer selling at your market. If you meet these requirements, you should email the WIC FMNP team to request an application or to check if your market's WIC authorization is current. If your authorization is current, but you are a new manager to that market, you'll need to ask them to schedule you for a WIC authorization training. In this next section, we will go step by step through the WIC farmer application process. If you're an eligible farmer, your first step is to submit your WIC farmer application. Again, that can be found on the CDPH WIC website, and you can download it from there and print it, or you can fill it out digitally online. Something important to know is that if you were authorized in 2024 or prior, you will need to submit the new WIC farmer application that you can find on their website and attend the new training, even if your authorization from 2024 or prior hasn't expired yet. And this is because with the new electronic payment system, there are new terms and conditions on the application. On this screen is an example of the WIC farmer application, which again, you can download from the WIC website. You can either download it and fill it out on your computer if you want to email it to the WIC FMNP team, or you can download and print it, then fill it out by hand and mail it to the address listed on the application. So to begin, you will put a check mark in the box that applies to you. So are you a new farmer who has never participated in the Farmers Market Nutrition Program before, or are you somebody who is reauthorizing? If you are a honey-only farmer, you will also put a check mark in the box for honey-only farmers so that they know to enroll you only in the senior program. In the WIC-wise ID box, you will put your 6-digit WIC ID if you know it. You should be able to find this number by searching in your email for an old notice of authorization from WIC, but if you aren't able to find it or you don't have a WIC ID, you can go ahead and leave this section blank. Now moving on to section 1 of the application. This is where you will put your information, your farm's information. So first you'll enter the name of your farm. It should match the name that is listed on your CPC. In the boxes for certified producer's name, you will enter your name as it appears on your CPC. And if you're somebody who is helping a farmer fill out their application, make sure the certified producer's names match what's on the CPC. On the right-hand side in the producer certificate information area, you will copy over information from your CPC. If you have more than one CPC, just make sure you use one that is current and valid and not expired. In the mailing address section, you put in the address where you receive mail. This is very important because once your application is approved, CDPH WIC needs to mail you the official signs that you'll post at your booth to let customers know that you accept WIC and Senior FMNP. In the phone and email boxes, make sure you enter phone numbers and an email address that you regularly use and check. The email address is especially important because once you are approved for the programs, CDPH WIC will email you your official notice of authorization, as well as instructions for how to set up your online account to take payments. And finally, you will need to enter your tax ID in this box at the bottom right. This can be your business's employer identification number, also known as EIN, or your social security number. This information is needed to verify that you are eligible for the new electronic payment system. In section 2 of the application, you have two choices. You can ask your farmer's market manager at a WIC authorized market to fill out the section and sign it to verify that you are a certified producer at their market. Alternatively, you can just attach the first page of your current CPC when you submit the application. I usually recommend that farmers attach the first page of their CPC because it's more efficient than chasing down your market manager to get their signature. And section 3, which is the shaded purple section right below section 2, is for CDPH WIC staff only, so you can go ahead and skip that and flip to page 2. So on page 2, section 4, you're going to list all of the WIC authorized farmers markets where you sell. You can find out if a market that you attend is WIC authorized by going to the WIC website, www.wicfarmers.ca.gov. And near the bottom of that webpage, you'll find a link titled Authorized Farmers Market List. When you click on it, you will see a list of all WIC authorized farmers markets sorted by county. I did notice that this form tells you to find the farmers market number from that list. However, the last time I checked, these numbers were not available on the list. So what you can do is either ask your farmers market manager if they know their market number, and if not, just go ahead and leave it blank. But do make sure that the market name, location, and the days and hours of operation are accurate when you fill out this form. Finally, in section 5, you'll sign the form. And again, if you're helping a farmer fill out this form, make sure that they are the ones signing the form. The people signing the form should be the same people whose names appear on their CPC as the certified producers. Once you're ready to submit your application, you will go back to page 1. So once again, here in the upper left on page 1 of the WIC farmer application, you will find the email address that you can email a digital file of your application to. Or if you're planning to mail in a physical copy, below their email address is their mailing address. And don't forget, if you did not get the market manager signature in section 2, attach the first page of your CPC to the application. WIC authorized farmers can only take WIC and senior FMNP payments at farmers markets that are also WIC authorized. So for market managers, that means you should make sure your market's WIC authorization is current. And you can do this by emailing the WIC FMNP team. I've put their email address here on the right-hand side of this slide. If your market's authorization has expired or if your market has never been authorized before, the WIC FMNP team will send you a copy of the farmers market manager version of the application, and you'll fill it out and send it back to them. If you are currently authorized, but you're a new market manager, again, that would just mean you ask them to schedule you for the mandatory WIC authorization training. The farmers market application looks very similar to the farmer application, except instead of attaching a CPC, you'll attach a copy of your certified farmers market certificate, and you will include a list of all the WIC authorized farmers who are selling at your market. Once you have submitted your WIC farmer application or WIC farmers market application, CDPH WIC will review that application and then contact you to schedule the mandatory training. The mandatory WIC training is a Zoom video meeting usually with a CDPH WIC staff member who will review with you the rules of the program and how to process transactions. After you attend the WIC training, they will email you your official notice of authorization along with the instructions to set up your online farmer account. You'll also receive your special WIC and senior FMNP signs in the mail. And this step, where on the slide I've got some red stars, create account on farmer portal, is where we saw a lot of confusion among farmers this year. Some folks, once they received their official notice of authorization by email, they thought they were finished with the WIC authorization process. However, once you receive your notice of authorization, there's actually one last step. You need to set up your online farmer account so that you can take transactions from the electronic benefits card. Otherwise, you'll be authorized, but you won't have any way to actually accept payments. In the next section of this webinar, we'll show you how to set up your online farmer account and give your staff access to it. For farmers market managers, note that you will not have an account since transactions are happening directly with farmers and not at the information booth. But the information that I will be sharing next will still be valuable if you are helping farmers to set up their account and take transactions. The instructions that I'm going to share next are also in the quick reference guides that CDPH WIC will email to you along with your notice of authorization. So if you are watching this webinar and starting to feel a little lost or confused at any point, you can also refer to the quick reference guides, which have lots of pictures and step-by-step instructions. Once you get your WIC farmer application approved and you've received your notice of authorization and a link to set up your account, you will go to that link, which should be included in your notice of authorization email. Here, I'm going to click here. And this will take you to a login page. On this login page, if it's your first time visiting, you will need to create a new account. And what you will do is click on this link that says "Don't have an account? Register here." And this takes you to registration step 1. Make sure California FMNP is the program selected, and then you'll enter your vendor number. This vendor number is the 6-digit WIC ID that should be in your WIC notice of authorization email. You go ahead and enter it. And then in your zip code box, put in the zip code that you entered on your WIC farmer application. And then you'll go ahead and hit the blue Next button. So if you get an error message like the one you're seeing here, invalid vendor details, that means that your vendor number or zip code that you've entered don't match what's on your application and notice of authorization. So you'll want to go back and double check it and correct it. And if it does match, then you should be taken to registration step 2. On this page, you will create a username and password that you will remember. And since I already have an account, I will not be doing this, but I will show you what this page looks like. Again, you pick a username, enter your email address, and pick a password that you'll remember. Make sure your password meets the criteria listed on this page. It has to be at least 6 letters long. It should contain at least 1 lowercase letter and 1 uppercase letter. And it should contain at least 1 number and 1 special character, such as a $sign or an exclamation point. And once you've chosen your password, you will confirm it by typing it in again. And then scroll to the bottom of this page, enter your first name, last name, phone number, and then click on Register. Once you've registered, you will receive an email from CDP Identity asking you to confirm your registration. So at this point, you will check your email, and if you don't see this confirmation email in your inbox, check your spam and junk folders. You do want to open this email right away and click on the confirmation link because the link will expire after 24 hours. After you click on the confirmation link in your email, you'll be taken back to the Farmer Online Account login page. On this page, you'll use your new username and password to log into your account. Once you've logged in, you should see a page that looks similar to this, with the profile details on the left-hand side and vendor associations on the right. If this isn't what you see when you first log in, you can go to your name in the upper right-hand corner, click on it, and click on Profile. And that should take you to the home page. On this page, you should see that you already have California SFMNP because this was the program you used to register your account. And at this point, unless you're a honey-only seller who is only eligible for SFMNP, you're going to want to add the WIC program to your account. To do this, you will click on the blue Add button under Vendor Associations. And once again, this time you will select California WIC Farmers Market, enter your vendor number, which is that 6-digit WIC ID in your Notice of Authorization, and the zip code you use to fill out your farmer application. I'm using a test account here, so I will not be able to sign up for the WIC program through my account here, but you should be able to. Once you have both programs in your vendor association section, there are a few more steps. You're going to need to go into each account here and sign an agreement and enter some information in order to link your bank account. So first, we'll start with California SFMNP. You'll click on this blue link with your vendor number and name. And when you do this, a screen should pop up. Mine is already complete, so yours will look slightly different. Yours in the processing agreement, there will be a button to click where you can review and sign an agreement. So you will click on that button, read the agreement, and then type your name to sign it. One thing to note is that you do need to scroll through the entire agreement, top to bottom, otherwise it will not allow you to sign. After you sign the agreement, move down to this government row, and here you will enter your federal tax ID number, which again is your social security number or your employer identification number. After you've entered your tax ID, you will upload your W-9 form. This is a government form that you can download from irs.gov. And once you do that, you can fill it out, take a picture, and upload the picture into this section on your WIC Farmer account. After you upload your W-9, you will see that the approval status changes to pending. And finally, in the bank account row here, you're going to enter your bank's routing number, account number, and what type of account it is, checking or savings. Once you've done all of those things, signed the agreement, entered your tax ID and uploaded your W-9 and linked your bank account, you can scroll all the way to the bottom of the screen and close it. So now we are back on the main page again. If you are someone who is eligible for WIC FMNP, you'll have a WIC row here, and you'll want to repeat these steps for that program as well. Once everything is done, you might need to wait a few days for your W-9 forms to be approved. Until then, on your account, you'll see a black circle with an exclamation mark in this vendor association section. And once your W-9 forms are approved, the black circle will disappear and your profile page will look like mine. At that point, you'll be ready to start taking transactions. So this might seem like a lot of work to set up an account. However, remember that the account setup process only needs to happen once, and the reauthorization process is only once every 3 years. Your future reauthorization will be a lot less complicated because your vendor account will already be set up, so it would just be a matter of submitting the application, the reauthorization application to WIC FMNP. All right, returning to our slideshow. So many farmers have staff who sell at markets for them. If you are one of those folks, you will need to give your staff access to your account so that they can take transactions at markets. There are 2 options for setting up your staff. You can simply give them your username and password, Or you can give them your WIC ID and zip code and ask them to go to the account registration page to create their own account using their own email address. I would personally recommend option one, which is to share your username and password with your staff, because this option gives you more control over who has access to your account. For example, if one of your employees quits, you can just change your account password and only share the new password with the current employees. And this account will work no matter how many people are logged in at the same time. The one downside to option one is that if one employee forgets the password and they keep entering the wrong password over and over and over again too many times, they could lock everybody else out of the account. Because of this, we recommend that you put a sticker or a piece of paper or something on the inside of your cash box with your account login information. We also recommend that you bookmark the link to the Farmer Portal login page on your smartphone and your employees' smartphones for easy access. All right. To make sure your team is ready to take WIC and senior FMNP transactions at markets, make sure that they have all the equipment they need. We noticed in this past year that farmers frequently forget to post their official WIC and senior FMNP signs, and as a result, customers did not know where they could use their cards. So that is very important when you're setting up in the morning. Make sure you post your WIC and senior signs. And of course, you need to make sure that your staff have access to a smartphone or tablet with a camera and connection to internet or cellular data so that they can log into your account and process transactions. And once again, make sure to put the login information somewhere where they can access it so that folks don't forget the password and then lock you out of the account by entering the wrong password too many times. So once you have your account set up and your employees have access, it's actually very easy to take transactions. When a customer comes to your booth with a WIC or senior FMNP card with a QR code on the front, I have an example here on the slide of what that looks like. What you'll do is just log into your account, scan the customer's card, enter the purchase amount, and submit the purchase. The payment will go into your account and will be deposited to your bank automatically. If you're watching this in 2025, you might see some customers come to pay with a WIC card that does not have a QR code. So this is the old version of the WIC card. And if you see this, you should tell the customer to go to their local WIC office and ask for the new WIC card with Farmers Market QR code. The WIC office will then swap out their card and give them a card that they can use at farmers markets. Do not manually enter the card number for old WIC cards. We were told that this might cause the card to get flagged for fraud. The manual entry option should only be used if a card has a QR code, but the QR code isn't working. So now what I'm going to do is show you a sample transaction using my test account. Okay, here we are on the vendor portal. First, you will log into your account. And if the camera scanner does not show up right away, you'll go to your name in the upper right-hand corner, click on it, and then click on New Purchase. Next, you'll take the customer's card and line up the QR code with the camera. I've got a sample card here, photo of it on my phone, so I'll go ahead and scan that. And once the QR code is scanned, you will see this page. In the location section, if you do want to track your sales at the different farmers markets you attend, you can choose the location. I have chosen Newark CFM because that is the market that I manage. Here in the price box, you will enter the purchase amount. And then you will hit Submit Purchase. A small screen should pop up asking the customer to confirm their purchase amount for seniors. For WIC participants, it will ask them for a PIN number. Once the customer has entered their PIN number or confirmed their purchase, you will click on Confirm Purchase and complete the transaction. So here I am seeing an error message. It says, participants' maximum redeemable balance is 0. And what this means is that the customer no longer has any money left on their card, and unfortunately, they cannot use this card for this transaction. However, if they did have money on their card, instead of this red error message, you would see a green box that says purchase successful, and the payment would automatically go into your account and then be direct deposited to your bank account. So again, you will get training and reference documents from CDPH and CDFA about transactions, balance checks, and refunds when you receive your official notice of authorization. It can be helpful to print a copy of those and keep it in your cash box in case your employees or you need a reminder for how to accept transactions. The CDPH WIC quick reference guides that come with your notice of authorization also include a lot of information about how to update your camera settings, how to reset your password, and other information. That brings us to the end of this presentation about the California WIC and Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Programs. So although it may be a little bit challenging and time consuming to submit your application and set up your accounts, once everything is set up, these programs benefit both you and your customers, and we highly recommend that all eligible farmers sign up to participate. Thank you again for joining us today and hope you have a nice rest of the day.